your sweater in the corner of the hall still holds the scent of a summer before the fall. I'm tracing shadows where we used to dance, just a ghost of a boy in a hollowed out romance. The clock is ticking but the room feels frozen, like all the words we left unspoken. I'm reaching out in the middle of the night into a space in the bed that doesn't feel right. We built a kingdom on a shifting sand. Now I'm watching it slip right through my hands. And oh, it's a heavy kind of silence, a quiet riot, a beautiful violence. We had the spark, we had the flame. Now I'm just a whisper of your name. I'd go back and fix it if I could, trade the better for the understood. Now I'm just a hollow silhouette of the love we couldn't keep. Yeah, the love we couldn't keep. The city lights look different through the rain, like neon fractures of a familiar pain. I passed the cafe where we said forever. Now forever is just a never. I'm scrolling through the photos on my phone, the loneliest I've ever been alone. Was it the timing? Was it the pride? Or just the secrets we learned to hide? I'm not angry, I'm just tired of walking the edge of this broken wire. I'm letting go, but I'm holding on to the echo of us before you were gone. A quiet riot, a beautiful violence. We had the spark, we had the flame. Now I'm just a whisper of your name. I'd go back and fix it if I could, trade the better for the understood. Now I'm just a hollow silhouette of the love we couldn't keep. Just a silhouette, trying to forget, but I'm not there yet. The love we couldn't keep. I'm still scrolling through the texts you never sent. building bridges out of moments that we never spent. I saw us in the city, I saw us in the rain, but now I'm just a witness to a phantom kind of pain. I practiced every word, I staged the whole scene, but the curtain never pulled on what we could have been. And it's a heavy kind of nothing, a hollow kind of weight, counting down the seconds to a ghost of a day. I'm mourning a person who was never really mine, just a blur of a shadow at the end of the line. I know it's over, and it never began. I'm holding the ashes of a beautiful plan. We were a match that never caught the light, a morning that vanished in the middle of the night. Do I break from a heart that didn't beat? How do I walk on a one-way street? I'm losing a version of us that I made in a love that was over before the first grade. Your name is a song that I'm forced to hum alone, a secret destination where I'm not allowed to go. I see you across the room and I feel the divide, like a tectonic shift happening deep inside. We're strangers with a history that I only wrote, a tragic little story on a waterlet. No, I'm not a victim, I'm just a fool who broke every heart shaped unwritten rule. I'm chasing a maybe, was always a no, but it's so much harder to let a ghost go than a person who's actually here. I'm drowning in silence, crystalline clear. I know it's over, and it never began. I'm holding the ashes of a beautiful plan. We were a match that never caught the light, a morning that vanished in the middle of the night. Do I break from a heart that didn't beat? How do I walk on a one-way street? I'm losing a version of us that I made in a love that was over before the first grade. It's over, but where did we start? Just a hole in the shape of a phantom heart. Yeah, it never began. I stayed up late, painting the walls a different hue, thinking if I moved the frames I wouldn't look for you. I kept the porch light burning, I kept the engine warm, just to sail a waiting out a never-ending storm. I told my friends the seasons were finally gonna shift, but I'm still caught in the current, just another piece adrift. I practiced my hello, and I ironed out the creases, trying to find the glue for all these jagged little pieces. I waited for the breakthrough, I waited for the sign, but the clock just kept on stealing every second that was mine. And I'm still standing in the garden where the seeds won't grow, holding on to promises you buried in the snow. It's a cinematic tragedy, a slow motion fall, the keeper of a static kind of pain. Yeah, I'm still waiting for a change that never came. The radio is playing that song you used to hate. Now I find I'm humming it like it's some kind of fate. I see the world is moving, I see the colors bleed, but I'm trapped in the chapters of a book I'll never read. I thought the heart would heal once the winter turned to spring, but the silence is the only thing that's ever gonna ring. Was I waiting for a version of you that didn't exist? Or just a version of me that I somehow missed? I'm tired of the almost, I'm tired of the soon, howling like a lonely dog at a disappearing moon. I wanted the fire, I wanted the flame, but I'm just the shadow of a change that never came. For a change that never came. The leaves are still green, but the air is so cold. A story unfinished that's already old. A change that never came. I'm standing on the corner, Fifth and Despair, running my fingers through the cold, heavy air. I see your silhouette in every passing car. Funny how the closest things feel twice as far. I'm wearing the jacket that you said looked best on me. Now it's just a heavy weight of fabric memory. The clouds are breaking open, the sky is turning gray. It's the perfect kind of weather to wash the world away. I'm letting it all go, I'm letting it spill, but the ache in my chest is standing perfectly still. And you won't see me breaking, you won't see the flood mixed with the water and the pulse in my blood. I'm hiding the salt in the pour from the sky, so you'll never know just how hard I did cry. It's a perfect disguise for a heart in pain. just another set of tears in the rain. Yeah, just tears in the rain. Neon signs are bleeding, blurry blues and reds, echoing the bitter words that we never said. I thought about calling, I thought about please, but the wind took my voice and it brought me to my knees. Every drop that hits the pavement is a what if or a why. Underneath a hollow and a sympathetic sky. If the sun comes out, then I got nowhere to hide. I'll have to face the wreckage that I'm carrying inside. But as long as it's pouring, as long as it's dark, I can't pretend I didn't lose my only spark. Let it wash, let it rinse, let it drown out the sound of my world hitting the cold, hard ground. With the water and the pulse in my blood, I'm hiding the salt in the pour from the sky. So you'll never know just how hard I did cry. It's a perfect disguise for a heart in pain. Just another set of tears in the rain. I'm soaked to the bone, but I'm still burning up for you. In the middle of the storm, and I'm the only one who knew. Tears in the rain. I'm breathing in the dust, room we used to share, trying not to choke on the ghost of you still there. Every corner is a trigger, every shadow is a blade. I'm living in the wreckage of the promises we made. I try to close my eyes, but the vision's far too clear. The loudest thing I've heard is the way you aren't here. It's a slow motion fever, a cold kind of burn, a lesson in losing I didn't want to learn. I'm reaching for the phone just to feel the weight of no, wondering how a heart can beat with nowhere left to go. And it's emotional agony, a weight I can't explain, a beautiful disaster just because it's the quietest screaming that's dramatic blue. This emotional agony of waking up without you. I see you in the strangers, I hear you in the wind. A story with an ending where we didn't even begin. The coffee's getting cold and the TV's just static. My grief is getting heavy, it's becoming automatic. I'm a prisoner of memory, a victim of the light. It shows me everything I lost in the middle of the night. Maybe I love the hurt because it felt like holding on. Maybe I'm scared to heal because then you're really gone. I'm drowning in the shallow end, I'm shivering in the heat, searching for a rhythm in a heart that skipped a beat. It's agony, it's ecstasy, it's all that's left of you and me. I'm haunted by the world, broken into pieces just because it's the quietest streaming, it's Sagamatic blue. This emotional agony of waking up without you, waking up without you. It's a hollow kind of blue, just a ghost in the hall, watching the rain fall. Found your watch on the nightstand, still ticking away. A rhythmic ghost of the things you didn't say. I'm tracing the outlines of where you used to sleep, while I'm drowning in promises you didn't mean to keep. The coffee's getting cold, just like your side of the bed. I'm replaying every forever that you ever said. And I'm caught in the static, the hum of the light, trying to find where the us went tonight. Was it a slow fade or a sudden departure? Now the silence is hitting me so much harder. 'Cause there's a thin white line between love and a lie, and I walked it with you till the well ran dry. You were my cinematic high, now I'm just the after credits. A beautiful mistake and I'm starting to regret it. Yeah, you tasted like heaven, but you felt like a goodbye. Caught in the crossfire of love and a lie. The city looks different through a window of rain, like a blurred out memory of a familiar pain. I see your face in the taillights of every passing car. Funny how I'm lost and you know exactly where you are. You left the keys on the counter, but you took the light. Now I'm just a shadow in the middle of the night. Did you ever love me, or was it just a role you played? I'm digging through the wreckage of the plans we made. Every I love you feels like a stone in my chest. I gave you my soul, and you took all the rest. There's a thin white line between love and a lie, and I walked it with you till the well ran dry. You were my cinematic high, now I'm just the after credits. A beautiful mistake and I'm starting to regret it. Yeah, you tasted like heaven, but you felt like a goodbye. Caught in the crossfire of love and a lie. Love and a lie. You were the best thing I never had, just a beautiful lie. I still catch myself reaching for your hand at red lights. Before I remember, you gave up on those late night drives. The apartment is quiet, but the walls have a memory of the way you laughed when you were leaning into me. Now I'm moving through the rooms like a ghost in my own life. Sharp edges of us cutting through me like a knife. I look in the mirror, but I don't see the damage. Just a hollowed out heart that I'm trying to manage. There's no blood on the floor, no marks on the skin, but I'm losing the fight from the inside in. 'Cause these are invisible love scars, burning in the dark, tracing the ghost to where you left your mark. You didn't leave a bruise, you just left a hole, and took the only version of me that was whole. I'm bleeding out in silence, yeah, I'm falling apart, living with the ache of these invisible scars. I saw your name on a screen, and I felt the air leave, a physical weight that makes it harder to breathe. like cheap summer wine. I'm screaming underwater, I'm begging for the light, but these wounds don't heal in the middle of the night. No, they never heal. I'm staring at the ceiling, tracing cracks like they're a map of every single moment that I'll never get back. The clock on the wall is just a liar in the dark, pretending time can heal where you tore me apart. I've got a century of sorry locked inside my throat, sinking like a lead weight in a paper boat. The seasons change outside, but I'm frozen in June, in a cold, empty house, singing out of tune. If time is a river, then I'm stuck on the shore, watching you drift until I see you no more. And now I'm carrying the weight of 1,000 years of lost love, searching for a signal from the stars up above. It's a cinematic tragedy, a slow motion crash, watching every dream we built turn into ash. I'm a relic of a feeling, soul out of gear, drowning in the salt of 1,000 years. Your scent is on the sweater that I can't throw away, a nostalgic poison that I swallow every day. I see us in the storefronts, two shadows in the glass, before we let the gold turn to rust in the grass. Is it R&B or a eulogy playing in my head for the life we didn't live and the words we never said? One life wasn't enough to lose you. Now I'm haunting the hallways of used to. I'd wait through the ages, I'd walk through the fire just to hear you say, baby, one more time on the wire. But the line is dead and the world is cold, and now I'm carrying the weight of 1,000 years of lost love, searching for a signal from the stars up above. It's a cinematic tragedy, a slow motion crash, watching every dream we built turn into ash. the salt of 1,000 years. 1,000 years just to find you again in another life. Maybe then I'm standing in the hallway where the light begins to die, watching shadows stretch across the places we would lie. The keys are on the table, feeling heavier than lead, beneath the weight of every word we should have left unsaid. I'm checking my reflection for a version of my face that didn't have the emptiness you're leaving in this space. The air is getting thin, the walls are closing in. I don't know where I end and where your ghosts begin. It's the quietest of endings, no screaming and no fight, just the sound of one heart breaking in the middle of the night. Now I'm breathing in the smoke of love's final goodbye, watching all the colors bleed right out of the sky. It's a cinematic hollow, a beautiful regret, a slow burn kind of torture that I haven't finished yet. You're a memory in motion, a star about to die, lost in the echo of our final goodbye. I see you in the static of a flickering TV, a grainy black and white of how we used to be. I'm nostalgic for a future that'll never even start, carrying the shrapnel of your name inside my heart. You didn't slam the door, you just drifted out of view. Now I'm a stranger to the man who used to belong to you. Away from everything we knew, I'm screaming through the texture of this exotic haze, drowning in the old ways that only lasted more see you later, just the never agains. Goodbye. I'm sitting in the kitchen where we used to talk till 4. Now I'm just staring at the dust motes dancing on the floor. They told me love was patient, they told me love was kind, but they didn't mention it could leave a person blind. I'm tracing every scar where your touch used to be, trying to find the pieces of the man I used to be. The record's spinning slow, but the song has lost its soul. I'm trying to bridge the gap between half and being whole. If the fire was so beautiful, why am I so cold? Tired of the story that we never got to fold. 'Cause love was never meant for pain, or so I thought. Now I'm paying for the lessons that you're leaving finally taught. It was supposed to be the shelter, not the center of the storm, not the ice that freezes over everything that's warm. I'm standing in the wreckage, calling out your name, knowing love, our love, was never meant for pain. I see a ghost in every neon light across the street, a cinematic irony that makes the heartbreak sweet. I'm nostalgic for the us that didn't know how this would end, before the lover disappeared and I lost my closest friend. Now the R&B is playing, but the rhythm's out of time, like a heavy-hearted poet who can't find the final rhyme. Was it all a setup? Was it just a game? I gave you my protection, but you gave me all the blame. I'm breaking through the static, I'm crying. I'm riding to a ghost in a room filled with your scent, trying to find the value of the years that we misspent. I've got a stack of envelopes with nowhere left to go, address unknown buried underneath the winter snow. I tell you how my day was, like you're sitting in the chair, but I'm just talking to the shadows and the empty, freezing air. The ink is starting to bleed, just like my weary mind, searching for the pieces of the heart I left behind. It's a one-way conversation, a desperate hollow plea to the version of you that used to belong to me. Sending letters to a dead love, watching them ignite, burning through the memories in the middle of the night. Every word's a eulogy, every line's a tear but the silence doesn't care. Just sending letters to a love that isn't there. I wrote about the coffee shop, the one where we first met, before our happy ending turned into a long regret. I'm nostalgic for the pressure of your head against my chest. Now I'm just a hollow vessel, put to an eternal rest. The R&B is played low, a slow and mournful beat, while I'm tracing out your signature to make the lie complete. Why did you have to die inside? Oh, why did we let the fire slide? I'm folding up my spirit, I'm tucking it away in a box of broken promises that I can't face today. I'm losing my religion, I'm losing my way, sending letters to a dead love, watching them ignite, burning through the memories in the middle of the night. Every word's a eulogy, every line's a tear, for a love that's been a phantom for 1,000 lonely years. I'm screaming at the silence, but the silence doesn't care. Just sending letters to a love that isn't there. I still love you, but you're already gone. The front door clicked, and then the world went gray. I'm still standing in the echoes of you walking away. The air in here is heavy, thick with things we didn't say, like a cinematic tragedy on a loop in slow play. I'm staring at your empty mug, the lipstick on the rim. The light in every room is growing terrifyingly dim. I used to fear the thunder, I used to fear the rain, but there's a new kind of monster living in the pain. It doesn't have a heartbeat, it doesn't have a face. It's just the hollowness you left throughout this empty space. And I'm drowning in the silence after our love. No help coming down from the stars up above. It's a deafening hum, it's a roar in my ears, the sound of a lifetime dissolving into tears. You took the music with you, you left me with the noise of a broken-hearted man who's lost his only joy. try to play some R&B to fill the cracks in the wall, but the rhythm feels like static and the soul feels too small. I'm nostalgic for the arguments, I'm begging for a fight, just to hear your voice cutting through the middle of the night. But the TV's just a blue screen reflecting back my ghost. I'm a stranger in the house where I used to be the host. Can you hear it? The sound of us ending. I'm tired of the faking, I'm tired of pretending that I can live inside this quiet, that I can breathe this air. When I'm reaching for a shadow that's no longer even The quiet is a fever, the silence is a blade. Watch us fade. The sky is bruised and purple, the air is getting cold, just like the hollow promises that we used to hold. I see the lightning flash behind the curtains of your eyes, a cinematic warning of the coming of the goodbyes. I'm anchored to the floorboards while the windows start to shake, calculating every single heartbeat left to break. I'm not asking for the sun, I'm not asking for the light, I'm just a desperate man losing grip of what is right. The R&B on the radio is drowning in the rain, a slow motion rhythm for a fast-acting pain. I thought you loved me through the storm, stay beside me in the dark, but you let the wind extinguish every little lingering spark. Now I'm standing in the deluge, soaked in everything we lost, counting up the damage and the heavy bitter cost. You were supposed to be my shelter, but you let the rain come in. Now I don't know where the weather ends and where I begin. There's a nostalgic ghost of you still sleeping in my bed, while the real you is a phantom living inside someone else's head. I'm tracing rainy patterns on the glass of my own soul, trying to find the parts of me that you didn't steal whole. The electronic pulse is the only thing that's left in this cinematic portrait of a love-bound thing. The sky is falling like lead. I would have been your anchor, I would have been your shore, but you're just another shadow heading for the door. You left me in the wreckage, you left me in the grave, watching all our forever just wash away. I thought you loved me through the storm, stay beside me in the dark, but you let the wind extinguish every little lingering spark. Now I'm standing in the deluge, soaked in everything we lost, counting up the damage and the heavy, bitter cost. You were supposed to be my shelter, but you let the land come in. Now I don't know where the weather ends and where I begin. The storm is over now, but I'm still drowning through the storm. You didn't stay. The moon is hanging heavy, the silver blade in the sky, watching all the reasons that we let this feeling die. Streetlights are humming a lo-fi melody of the ghost of the man I used to be when you were next to me. No shouting in the hallway, no slamming of the door, just the sound of your shadow not living here no more. The city's finally quiet, but my head is getting loud, trying to find a silver lining in this toxic cloud. I'm breathing in the ozone of a fire that's gone out, wrapped in the shiver of this beautiful doubt. Under a cold night, cold love, I'm freezing in the glow of everything you promised, but we're never gonna show. It's a cinematic silence, a hollowed out refrain, a slow motion R&B rhythm for the pain. Yeah, the stars are looking perfect while I'm falling apart in the middle this calm night, cold love, and a broken heart. I'm scrolling through the photos, a nostalgic suicide, looking for the moment when the light inside us died. You look so happy in the pixels, I look so sure of us, before we let the gold turn into settle for the dust. Now I'm just a witness to a crime I didn't mean to commit, waiting for a match that I'm never gonna light. Is it peaceful where you are? Are you wishing on the same star? I'm drowning in the stillness, I'm screaming in the hush. I take 1,000 storms over this emotional crush. Give me back the noise, give me back the heat, because this calm is just a slow burn defeat. Perfect while I'm falling apart in the middle of this calm night, cold love, and a broken heart. So quiet, so cold, a story told. Good night, my ghost. I'm standing on the edge of a promise I can't keep, watching all the secrets that you're murmuring in sleep. You told me that your heart was like a house with glass walls, but I'm terrified of what happens when the first stone falls. I'm tracing the map of the scars on your back, wondering if I'm the light or just the fade into black. I wanna believe in the words on your lips, but I'm bracing for the moment that the anchor slips. It's a cinematic tension, a beautiful fear of losing the one thing that finally brought me here. You told me to trust me into love, but I'm falling in the dark, searching for a safety net or just a tiny spark. It's a vulnerable rhythm, a slow burn R&B, trying to let you in while I'm trying to be me. I'm terrified of flying, but I'm weary of the ground. If I trust you into love, will I ever be found? The nostalgia of my past is a ghost at the door, reminding me of every time I ended on the floor. But your soft electronic texture in a world of jagged noise, the only bit of healing in a life of broken toys. I'm leaning into the shiver, I'm breathing in your scent, wondering if this is love or just time well spent. Don't let me go, I've never been this low. I'm handing you the matches, I'm handing you the key. I'm terrified of what you're gonna find inside of me. Is it real? Is it us? Or is it just a beautiful kind of pain? Just a tiny spark, it's a vulnerable rhythm, a slow burn R&B. I'm trying to let you in while I'm trying to be me. I'm terrified of flying, but I'm weary of the ground. If I trust you into love, will I ever be found? I'm closing my eyes. Don't let me fall. Maybe love isn't a prison. Maybe it's the wall.
The song opens with a mimic, pulse-like zoo that mimics a fading heartbeat. A muted rebirth piano drifts in, playing a slow descending minor scale. Every few seconds, there's a subtle electronic glitch sound like a record skipping on a memory.
I'm looking through the hallway, the air is getting thin. Still looking for the places where your laughter used to live. The walls are painted quiet and the floorboards have gone cold. The story of the two of us is starting to unfold. I touch the door frame where you used to rest your hand, but it's like I'm tracing outlines in the shifting desert sand. Everything is still, but everything is strange. The scenery is exactly how we left it, but the spirit's rearranged. I'm a tenant in a temple that was built for me and you, but the bricks are growing numb and the windows lost their view. I'm shouting at the corners just to see if they'll react, but silence is the only thing that's ever coming back. Now I'm living in rooms that forgot your name. The echo's gone silent, nothing feels the same. The mirrors don't reflect you, the shadows don't even try. It's a cinematic hollow under a cloudless digital sky. I'm screaming in the kitchen, but the tiles don't know the sound of forgot your name. I left your favorite book face down on the nightstand shelf, but the pages are just turning by their lonely, dusty self. The cedar in the closet doesn't hold your sweater scent. I'm wondering where the oxygen and all the feeling went. Even the light looks different when it hits the wooden floor. It doesn't dance the way it did when you were at the door. Memory is a traitor, it's a glitching, broken screen, deleting every footprint from the places that we've been. No, the house don't remember, no, the walls don't surrender. On the end to this space is becoming a stranger to me. Now I'm living in rooms that forgot your name. The echo's gone silent, nothing feels the same. The mirrors don't reflect you, the shadows don't even try. It's a cinematic hollow under a cloudless digital sky. I'm screaming in the kitchen, but the tiles don't know the sound of the way your heavy heartbeat used to shake this solid ground. The master suite is vacant, the hallway's alive. I'm just a stranger in rooms that forgot your name. A filtered, underwater finched pad washes in a
Slow, low fire and beat kicks in. The output and heavy, accompanied by the faint, crackling sound of an old film projector.
The sun is leaking through the blinds and dusty lines. A cruel reminder of a clock that's lost its rhyme. I reach across the desert of the king-sized bed, forgetting for a second every word we said. The kitchen's quiet, but I still hear the kettle hiss, chasing the ghost of a morning coffee kiss. I'm stuck in a loop, a glitch in the design, replaying the footage where your hand was still in mine. The coffee's getting cold, but the memory's burning hot. I'm searching for a version of us that I lost, and now I'm waking up to yesterday, where the colors haven't started to fade to gray. In my head you're still laughing in the hall, before we let the shadows catch us after all. It's a cinematic tragedy, a beautiful mistake. I'm living in a dream that I don't wanna break. Yeah, I'm just waking up to yesterday. even if it's just a thread from 2017. I'm scrolling through the frames, frozen in the glow, watching how we used to be before we had to go. The world is moving forward, I'm just standing still, building up a fever that I know is gonna kill. Maybe if I close my eyes, the sun will go back down, and I can find the pieces of the heart we left in town. I'm not ready for the light, no, I'm not ready for the light, 'cause the reality is heavy and the fiction feels so right. I'm waking up to yesterday, where the colors haven't started to fade to gray. In my head you're still laughing in the hall, before we let the shadows catch us out. Clock says 8:09, but it's last year in my mind. Same room, different life, just waking up to yesterday. Clouds that gather in the hallway, thick and gray. I'm watching how the sunlight starts to bleed away. The air is heavy, like it's waiting for a sign. A pressure in my chest that's crossing every line. I used to love the storm when you were in my arms. We laugh at every flash and all the false alarms, but the wind is whispering secrets I don't wanna know, and the barometer is dropping, nowhere left to go. I'm standing in the static, waiting for the crash, counting every second since the last bright flash. Now it's just thunder without you, a hollow roar that's shaking up the room. The sky is screaming out your name in every shade of blue, but there's no lightning left to lead me back to you. It's a cinematic heartbreak, a storm that never ends, just a lonely vibration where the silence begins. Yeah, it's just thunder without you. The windows rattle like they're trying to break free. I'm staring at your ghost where your shadow used to be. I try to find the rhythm in the pouring rain, but every drop just sounds like a symphony of pain. I'm reaching for the phone, then I pull my hand away. 'Cause even if I called, I don't know what I'd say. The sky is falling. It's the flash I missed, the spark that made us real. Now I'm just numb to everything I'm supposed to feel. The world is turning black and white, a low-res memory, and I'm the only one left in this dark periphery. It's just thunder without you, a hollow roar that's shaking up the room. The sky is screaming out your name in every shade of blue, but there's no lightning left to lead me back to you. It's a cinematic heartbreak, a storm that never ends, just a lonely vibration where the silence begins. No light, just the noise. I'm still listening, waiting for the flash, but it's just thunder without you.
"3 a.m. and the sheets are cold as stone. I'm reaching out for skin, but I'm only touching bone. The indentation where you slept is fading like a ghost. Funny how the things we leave are what we miss the most. I'm paralyzing cotton, staring at the wall, waiting for a shadow that's never gonna fall. I'm living in the static, the hum of the machine, trapped in all the spaces that exist in between. I haven't moved an inch, I'm frozen in the gray, just a body in a house where the light went away. Now I'm waking up to half a bed, with a million words I never should have said. I'm hanging on to edges, afraid to cross the line, 'cause if I move to the center, I'm admitting you're not mine. It's a cinematic silence, a hollow kind of blue, just the king of a kingdom, it's missing half of you. Yeah, I'm dying on this side of half a bed. Softly electronic posters, like a heartbeat in the floor, remind me of the rhythm of you walking through the door. I leave the TV on just to feel a little less alone. But the blue light only highlights the things I'll never own. Your pillow still smells like that perfume from the coast, a beautiful reminder of what I broke the most. The weight of your absence is heavier than lead. I'm drowning in the memories, I'm hanging by a thread. No, I can't move. No, I won't move. Because as long as there's an empty space, I can still pretend I see your face. Half the covers, half the heart, watching every dream just fall apart. I'm just a ghost in the sheets, sleeping on half a bed. Sleeping on half a bed. Sleeping on half a bed. I still catch my breath when the hallway shadows move, leaning on the silence of this empty hollow room. The cold racks holding ghosts of the jacket you would wear, and I'm still breathing in the scent of you that lingers in the air. But I'm dying for the rattle, the click against the lock. The only thing that's missing is the rhythm of your walk. I'd give up every sunrise just to feel the floorboards bleed, to hear the ghost of a ghost, the only melody I need, the echo of the metal, the turning of the tea. God, I'm haunted by the sound of your key. I left the porch light burning till the bulb finally gave out. Now I'm sitting in the kitchen, drowning in the doubt. I keep thinking I can hear you, just a fumble at the door. But it's just the wind crying for a love that's here no more. It's the quietest of thunders, the loudest kind of pain, knowing that the tumblers won't ever spin again. The chain is still unbolted, the welcome mat is dry, and every night I'm listening to a promise told a lie. Static in my heartbeat, static in my head. I'm sleeping on your side of our unmade bed, just waiting still waiting for the sound